Shall we play a game?
We got Star Wars Unlimited. We got classic Star Wars games. We got old school D&D, independent RPGs, mini painting, Warhammer, of course, tons of other games. But first, we're gonna need some coffee here on Board Barista Productions.
Hey everybody, it's your Board Barista Fen, and this is Retro Reviews, a review show where we go through my copious amounts of RPG books and other paraphernalia one at a time. And to join me for color commentary, side comments, and to jump down rabbit holes, we have Tanya.
Hey, hello.
All right, and tonight we are talking about the Star Wars RPG Heir to the Empire Sourcebook. This is... So when I say the words Heir to the Empire, Tanya, what comes to mind?
Oh. Not Anakin.
Not Anakin.
Empire Strikes Back.
Actually, I'll give you a hint. He's blue and wears a lot of white.
Blue?
Yeah, he's got blue skin, red eyes, dark hair, and wears a white uniform.
I don't know that character.
Oh, well, your homework assignment is to watch Ahsoka season 1, because the big bad in the Heir to the Empire novel, and it's the rest of that trilogy, written by Timothy Zahn, the guy who basically gave us more Star Wars in '93 by introducing the two of the biggest Star Wars non-movie characters ever. One of them, spoiler, does not survive the book series. The other one ends up marrying Luke Skywalker and having his son. Sadly, it's not the blue guy who ended up getting married. That was Mara Jade Skywalker, the best character in all of the extended universe, who they need to bring back. Disney Galaxy's Edge is selling her lightsaber, which was designed at Lucasfilm simply because they wanted to make her into a card for the CCG. So they had to build a lightsaber for the actress. And they had come in and do a photo shoot with a lightsaber so they can make a card for her, and actually make a card for her lightsaber for the card game. Was introduced in this novel and then introduced to the game through this book. Her and Grand Admiral Thrawn, the most badass Star Wars villain, hands down, in any of the versions of the canon, both came from that novel. This book covers everything from that novel that Timothy Zahn created, like the furry little monkey lizards that repel the Force, his short lizard-like Nogri bodyguards. All the stuff is covered in here. The planets, game stats for the attack on the Sulisban shipyards, which got attacked more times. It's the most attacked starship shipyards in all of Star Wars. Every time there is a war in Star Wars, somebody attacks and the Sulisban shipyards.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's stats about new Jedi powers. There's the upgraded stats for Luke after he's been working on trying to create a new Jedi Order. He's about to start taking apprentices. Leia is pregnant with the twins at this point. Yes, Han and Leia had twins. They did not only have just one son. Neither one of their sons was named Ben. That was Luke's son. I know I'm ranting Luke and Mara named their son Ben, okay? Because after Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay? Han and Leia's sons were named after their grandfathers. Their oldest son, along with his sister, were named after Han's parents. Jason and Jaina were named for the twins were named for Han Solo's mom and dad, who died when he was young, and that's why he was raised by Wookiees, and why when he was an Imperial officer he rescued Chewbacca. Okay,
so they screwed up the storyline in the last 3 movies.
They named, which is why I'm hoping they bring Mara Jade back. She married Luke. Instead of only having 1 kid, they had 3. They had 2 twins. Let them be Jason and Jaina. Let them be named for other people. Let them name their youngest son Anakin. Because Leia had this whole thing in the books. It was a big thing about she didn't want to have kids. Because she was afraid of the whole thing of going over to the dark side. She ended up having twins. The twins turned out okay. She was about to have her youngest son. She was all like, I don't know if I want to have the kids trained to be Jedi. I don't know if I want to train as a Jedi myself.
So that's a lot of the stink about the movies.
I
just saw them as something different.
They named the kids wrong. But no, it was a whole thing of like she had this big issue about her training as a Jedi, about her kids becoming Jedi. Then she encountered the Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker and came to terms with the whole fact of like, you were my father, but it was Anakin that was my father. Vader was never my father. Once you became Vader, you were no longer my dad. And accepted the whole truth. And that's when she's like, Luke, train my kids, teach them to be Jedi, make sure they don't fall to the dark side. Of course, Han and Leia's oldest son, he went to the dark side. He became the next Sith to try to run the galaxy. That, from the movies, is dead on. Han and Leia's oldest son going to the dark side?
Yeah.
It's 100% truth. Except he had a sister. He had a younger brother. His sister is actually the one that killed him. And all of this started with this novel and this source book. And this will get me into a rant every single time about Disney canon versus Lucasfilm canon. Because this all started the true canon. And I love the fact that they're going to do the Thrawn campaign, because Thrawn's come back from this other galaxy. He's shown back up. He's going to take control of the Empire. And I want to see the attack on the Silsvon shipyards. I want to see the Nograi bodyguards be part of this storyline. Because they put the Nogri into the storyline already. Except the one that was supposed to kill Thrawn at the end of the books died during the Clone Wars TV series. And I'm like, okay. But he's probably going to get another bodyguard from that species. They're going to have their whole thing of like, I can smell Leia she smells like Master Vader. They were calling her Lady Vader. She was because they're a female dominated society. The daughters all inherit everything and are in control of the matriarchy. So it was the whole thing of like, she was like, oh, she's our new Lady Vader. We all allegiance to her, and they betray and kill Thrawn because he's like trying to kill Lady Vader. Beautiful way. It was the only way Thrawn could be defeated was to have the Nogri like turn and assassinate him, because he was just such a brilliant military genius. Like the dude would look at the artwork of a species and be like, I know exactly how this race thinks. Here's my strategic battle plan. I'm going to win. The only rebel they could have that would actually be able to stand up to them was a general who was also a senator from Corellia, which is the homeworld of Han Solo. So they had to get a leader of the planet full of crazy space smugglers and pirates who are like, you know, it'd be cool if we did this. They had to get the king of the rule of cool, flashy, crazy stunt people to actually be able to defeat the art critic tactician. Because no one can actually think as fast as a Corellian can come up with a crazy idea. And all the stats for all that stuff is in here. I would definitely recommend if anyone's trying to do like the Thrawn campaign, because we don't know how it's going to play out in the Disney TV series and movies yet. So just grab this, use this as like the background filler. If you do want to make it Disney canon, you just change the whole fact that Leia's not having twins. She's just pregnant with one baby. Or you keep it as twins. And in your campaign, instead of Jaina killing Jason, Ben kills his twin sister. And that's what drove him over to the dark side. And why Han was like, I can't be with my wife because my wife thinks he's still good in him. He killed my daughter. That would totally explain why Han went off on his own. Like, if they do all of that in the storyline, I'll be happy. But, there's so much stuff that they cut out of the EU, and there's so much stuff they kept in it that's like, they just tweak it a little bit. They can make it fix. Which I feel like I'm going to have to do with our campaign because I'm like trying to merge like a bunch of extended universe content with Disney content that I figured everybody had watched all the Disney stuff by now.
Yeah, I just realized I have not watched The Rise of Skywalker.
All right, skip The Rise of Skywalker. Watch The Mandalorian. All you have to watch is Mandalorian, Skeleton Crew, and Ahsoka.
I haven't watched Skeleton Crew. I haven't watched Ahsoka. I've watched The Mandalorian, and then I cut my Disney Plus connection.
Oh, you guys don't have Disney Plus anymore?
Yeah, no, it became too expensive. I know there's a whole thing where you can get it for like $7.99 for a certain amount of time.
All right. Well, if you ever get Disney Plus again, do sit down and watch it. But all right, we got like 1 minute before it turns to be 8 o'clock for you and 7 o'clock for me. I'm getting hungry. I want to get something to eat. I know I didn't really talk. I rambled way too much more about the extended universe and everything, but I just want to stress again, this is the Thrawn campaign. If you're going to put Thrawn into your Star Wars RPG experience, even if you don't read the book, you need to read the Hand of Thrawn source book. They actually produced a Thrawn trilogy source book that had all 3 books in one. Okay. That one is a much better to read than reading 3 different ones. It's the cloning of stormtroopers and everything like that in here. Like it's a must just to be able to have like that time period and plan out some games to put into that time period in the Star Wars story, no matter if you're using Disney or extended universe canon, trying to work in what's going on in the galaxy, having your group run into some clone stormtroopers, some clone TIE fighter pilots, running, trying to capture capital ships for the Empire because they put a huge bounty on capital ships, paying like 3 times their normal price and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a must read, and it's gonna take some. If you're gonna play, pre-Disney canon, it's perfect because you can just pick up, play in that era with these source books. If you're playing post-Disney canon, you're going to have to like do some magic hand waving and change some stuff, but not a lot of stuff because they haven't covered Thrawn campaign yet. You can probably find the stats for for the Ahsoka characters and stuff like that if you want to bring them in. But it's a huge galaxy. You can be off on another part of the galaxy and still experience, because Thrawn was all over the place at this point. So definitely go get it, use it, run it, love it, and deal with some clone stormtroopers, or even just make all of your players be clone stormtroopers. It'd be funny. It would be funny, but that's all I got for this week. Laura's got the outro as always. Peace.
Peace.
Hey everybody, thanks for staying till the end of the episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at Board Barista Productions. And if you want to support us, Patreon link at the bottom.